This is Close Combat Gateway to Caen. You're watching episode 13 of the Axis campaign. Take a moment to support the channel by clicking the subscribe button, liking the video, and turning on notifications. It's now 1800. Reinforcements have arrived, and we've got a few new battle groups that have just shown up. So we're going to move from Skyline Northeast to Choux, and then I need some backup at Fontenay-Caen Road, so we're going to go ahead and send some tanks up there. We need backup at Casino. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to get armor up there, which is not going to be great, but it is what it is. We need the manpower. Up here in Meaux and St. Mauvieu, I'm going to merge these two battle groups. And then down here, we're still working our way up with Recon, and so they're going to go into Choux as well. And then that's a decent jumping off point for us to spread out. All right, nothing interrupted. Everybody moved. Now we will have to get through the first battle at Fontenay-Caen Road with just the old units. So that's where we're going to kick this episode off. We'll have Panzer Grenadier Regiment 26, 12th SS Panzer, taking on 9th Cameronians again. We had an almost completely dead battle group. It was very bare bones, I guess you could say. So we now have a new one, and we're going to be having Die Hard Company. So we've got John McClane, Hans Gruber, Sergeant Al Powell, Colonel Stewart, Major Grant, Simon, Zeus, Thomas Gabriel, Lucy, and then Yuri Komarov, Holly, and Dick Thornburg rounding out the support. Let's check out the enemy. So they got a rifle platoon, 2 extra Bren sections, and then just 2 mortars and a Piat. No armor. Alright. Well, if that's the case, I'm going to get rid of all my Panzerjägers, and let's take mortars instead. So with that sorted out, it's really bothering me that we don't have a 3rd mortar, and I'm torn between the machine gun and the 2cm flak, but I think the machine gun's going to be a little bit more I think the machine gun will be a little bit more versatile than the 2cm, and we know that thing's going to be a mortar target anyway, so we'll go with the MG. And for deployment, instead of staying so far to the back, I am trying a new suggestion, and we're going to try to just dig in the field and then allow them to get closer to us before we open up, but we're going to use the crops as sort of a concealment for us. I can't go too far with the west side, so I do still have Thomas Gabriel and Lucy watching that flag, and then Zeus kind of just backing them up. Simon is down there at the fork in the road, and they've got decent views to the north and northeast. And then I've got my mortars hidden in the back, and we've got some infantry scattered throughout the fields, and we're hoping to keep them locked at the bunker area or further back. Okay, we got something over here in the woods. Alright, nobody can really see it. We can kind of see it there. So Simon, let's let them open up. I wonder... We can kind of see them. Nope. As soon as they laid down, that was it. Mortars falling. I don't know where. Alright. I think we're going to mark this with smoke. And then we'll try and drop mortars there. Uh-oh, Hans is getting hit. That's who the mortars are after. Nope, Hans took one. Get out of there, Hans. None of my guys seem to have dug in. So, this is going to be a problem. I'm just kind of realizing that right now. Uh-oh, they're on the run. Smoke out. Alright, so if we can get some mortars on them, that will help. I don't think they're pushing as hard as they did before when they had armor. So this might go a little slower. Let's see. Oh yeah, we got those homed in. So that's sighted in. It's all the way up there though. I kind of set that a little high. Will that be close enough? Nope, they're aiming at that range. What about like right here? Yeah, they're firing. Okay. Crawl up there. Okay, mortars are dropping. We got hit. Right there. John McClane took one. Not getting hits. Uh-oh. Why is that repairing? I've never noticed that. Did it get hit or is it just broken? I guess either way, we'll just let them sit tight for now. All right, Hans has made it up there. They really are easing into this one. Okay, we got contacts on the far west. Go ahead and open up. All right, more guys moving. I'm okay with them using my smoke to advance, because if they come out of the woods, we'll have a better shot of getting them. And I think Dick Thornburg's in just the right spot for this, but let's put him on ambush because he's getting a little ahead of himself right there. There we go. We got some runners. There we go. We got a hit. Another one. All right, hide. And we'll just kind of keep picking them off one at a time, I guess. Are they mortaring me? Where'd that go? All right, now they're landing to the east somewhere. Maybe they're after Al Powell. Let's move him down here. I don't know why they didn't dig in, but I'm not happy about it. And then let's get this Bren again. We got Dick Thornburg with good line of sight. Zeus, let's pull you to the back and bring you around over here. All right, they're shooting at Al. So let's just make like a rock, and I'm sure we disappeared from their view. All right, Zeus is moving. More infantry. I can't tell if they're really going to push south or if they just happen to be kind of over here. Because it kind of seems like they want to work their way towards the bunker area in the east. Dick, can't quite see them. Not there either. All right, but these guys laying down, they're hidden. It's rough. It's just a waiting game. Like, this is going to be a long slugfest of trying to get them to come out of cover, take one or two out, and hang in there. So the whole team is unconscious. That mortar on top of the bunker really messed them up, but all of them are just stunned. Nobody's wounded or dead. But we are without Dick Thornburg for a moment. All right, we got runners up north in the cornfield. Colonel Stewart can see. Let's go ahead and open up. Of course. Now that Dick Thornburg's down, these guys are moving. Two are up, but they're both coward. We have a rifle and apparently a pistol, and that's it. We need the gunner to get back up. Piet running. Third one has woken up, but he's just an assistant. Can't see anything with John McClane. I don't know that it's worth risking it anyway. Let's get Al. I don't know. Maybe actually let's just turn Al to the north. I don't know if we can move. They're on the full run. Let's go ahead and open up with John McClane now that they're out in the open. Good hit. Second guy's ducked down. That's okay, though, because they're not running for the flag. It's not Dick Thornburg. They are all active again now. Why can't he see? Nobody can see anything. Another mortar. Not sure where that mortar was going. All right, we got 2 teams in the north, 2 in the south. They are targeting Major Grant, so let's pull him to the south right here. Yes, please, run. Get out of there. Sooner than later, guys. There we go. Bren, hit them. We got a hit. Got another one. It is just a slugfest, though. Look at this. Like, it's one guy here, one guy there. They have teams scattered all over, and we can't do anything about it. All right. You guys just sit tight. Maybe we'll let them get sucked in. Al, I kind of want you a little bit further to the front. We got hit somewhere. Where? Oh, wow. Zeus, what are you doing? That's not where I said to go. Come on. Get south. Zeus is down to 3. Zeus cannot take any more casualties. That is not what I told you guys to do. I probably needed to give them more waypoints. Alright, open up. Hans and Colonel Stewart can see these guys, but only when they're standing. So it really is like luck of the first shot. Like, they either get somebody or the enemy hides, and then we're just waiting it out. All right, I think these guys are going to go east, and they're going to take the bushes by the bunker over here. And that's been a decent spot for me when I had the AT gun there. So we'll give it a go. Come on. Lots of infantry on the west. All right, Thomas Gabriel can't see anything. We're going to have to wait for these guys to get right on top of us. Now, there's so much here. I want to mortar them, but as long as they can maneuver quickly, they're going to get out of there before the mortars hit. So if we can pin them down with machine gun fire, then they could become viable targets. Like, can we hit right there? And Yuri, maybe we'll put a mortar in there somewhere. All right, we're getting a couple hits here and there. Keep your heads down. Let's move Yuri over here. Yeah, they're just going to flee. I don't know. We've got 10 seconds to decide. Let's keep moving Al Powell back up. I want him in the fight. I just didn't want him to be their primary focus when they had so many mortars. We're going to save that. I don't know if they're still there or not. I need them fixed in place. Oh, yeah, they were there. I should have let the mortars fall. All right, we're going to let them get closer. Because if we can get them pinned down somewhere, then I can pummel them. Colonel Stewart, Hans, both you guys hide. You're drawing a lot of attention. And what is that, 3, maybe 4 teams over here? So I don't know if these guys can handle it. They're going to go for the tank for cover. I guess as long as we have decent line of sight down here, we can totally handle it. But if anybody can't see, we're going to get overrun. And it's a little late to bring Zeus back up. So you're staying put right here. And nothing there, nothing there. Dick Thornburg can't see. Simon can't see out of there. Can see like only kind of northeast. Can we hit this guy? They gonna stand? We got the one guy in the back. There we go. Hit him. Nope. They're just so eager to lay down, and it really makes this challenging. I feel like if we had even a half track right now when they don't have armor, I'd be pretty willing to get out there and try and spot and gun them down. So if they're stuck at the tank, we could go ahead and try and keep their heads down with the machine gun. And then maybe we can put mortars on it. Of course, we can't see them, so let's see if Lucy can shoot close enough that it'll keep them pinned there. Nope. Okay, I think we're just going to have to sit here and wait. We'll hope for the mortars to fall, but there are 3 teams somewhere in the proximity, so we're going to let it happen. We know they're close. Over here, I want to move Hans back to the front. Like, they can move just along the bocage right up to this tree. There we go. Mortars landing. No hit. More infantry working towards the bunker. Come on, Colonel Stewart. As soon as Hans goes to move, they're like running for it. Alright. Fire mission complete. I think we just hit it again. They have so much there that it's worth it. Yeah. Come on. Drop, drop, drop. Open up. Keep their heads down. We got a hit. Alright. This is how we hold them right here. More hits. Kind of just retreating up here. Hans can't see him. Colonel Stewart can. Nope, lost it. So, we're back in the stalemate. We haven't done much damage to their morale, so we're not really getting close necessarily to a ceasefire. And apparently Hans is just never going to make the move. Now, in their defense, I do keep telling him to engage, but I say it's the enemy's fault because they keep standing up as soon as I try to move him. Let's get Al Powell moved to the north. Hit these guys. We're going to need more firepower up here. Can we hit our pre-sighted spot? What's going on? Alright, Hans is moving out on the road in the direction of the enemy instead of hidden. Okay, Holly is down to the last couple rounds. Come on. Al, small moves, just keep going. Open up here. I feel like one good firefight and we can drop their morale. We just need to like get some squad wipes or put some pressure on them, but they're not making it easy. So, Major Grant, you've been hidden for a minute. Let's get you back up there. And then I think follow this route right here. Try and get Hans to actually make that move. We'll keep their heads down with Colonel Stewart. Opening up, they're getting closer. Nope. Both you guys can't see. It's a give and take. If I let them just defend, they'll shoot. But at the same time, they're shooting almost too early. So I need that enemy to get away from the tank, and then we can probably do some damage. We're going to let Yuri drop the last 2 rounds that they've got right there. And who wants to be a hero? Not Hans. Hans doesn't. So we're going to try and do this in like small segments. Al, you're going to go for the mad dash sprint across the open field. I think we hit them? I don't know. I don't know who got hit. Oh, that's a bummer. So that was our last mortar, and it didn't do any damage. Al has arrived. Oh, Al got hit. Crawl. John McClane can't see there. And Hans, we're just going to move you up. Well, make sure you go where I want you to go. Little by little. Alright, they're kind of fleeing from the tank now. Missed. Missed. There we go. Major Grant. There we go. Pin them down. Major Grant just barely can't see up here. We could shoot here just to keep some extra fire on them. Maybe it'll keep them suppressed and eat away their morale. Alright, so we're right there with John McClane. We've got their command influence. Keep moving, Hans. I don't know if we grab Major Grant and bring them up from the south, but as long as we got these guys pinned right here, I don't think they'll get hit. This is so hit and miss. Like, nobody can really do anything, and I feel like we're stuck waiting this out for the next 11 and a half minutes. Can't target them behind the vehicle. Alright. Hold fire. Alright, Al Powell has officially rallied now after getting close enough to John McClane. And then Zeus. I think you're just going to sit tight there. I kind of thinking I'd like to get over here. I just don't know that we can pull it off. Like, there's not a lot of places to hide, and I don't want them to start gunning me down the way I'm doing to them. But I don't want to just sit here and wait for them to come back, because they're now pulling away. I kind of thought the machine gun would be a little bit more effective here, but they're playing it way more relaxed, way less pressure than in the previous battle. And I'm guessing the difference is the armor. Might also be my positioning, because I started up more towards the front bocage up here. They can't make it far enough south before they get shot at, so like it might be a product of how I chose to set my troops up. We are going to smoke this, and I think the plan is going to be to bring Major Grant to the front. So let them do their thing, but instead of stopping here, we're just going to keep coming north. We'll wait for a minute, make sure that the smoke develops. Also, I don't know if we're being shot at. Maybe these guys. And Thomas Gabriel, you haven't been able to see anything, so you're repositioning there. The first smokes really sucked. On target. Perfect. So we got a whole host of red guys over here. Bren. Can we hit any of them? No. 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 There we go. Dick Thornburg, do your thing. You can count on Dick Thornburg to show up when you least expect it. At the most inopportune time, that's when he's going to be there. Oh, wow. Okay. So glad we did not come out of cover on the west side. All right. Major Grant, your time to shine. Make the run. Get Al Powell up to the front. And we will have a pretty much unstoppable force here, I think. I don't think that they can get through this, and I think we'll be able to gun them down real quick. What's going on? What's going on? Are we still shooting at these same guys? I think we're just hitting the team up here. But it sounds on my left to me. Can kind of see through the trees, but not enough to be useful. Hit these guys. Come on, Dick. Is it this guy? I don't know who's actually engaging us, but it's got to be this Bren section right here, right? Like, that's the only one that's effective at seeing anything. Alright, Simon. I don't think you can do a lot, but if you could hit one of these guys, that would help. No. Alright, we're driving them back a little bit. Okay, they've actually requested a truce. We're winning, but I'm over it. It's too slow, so let's take it. Who knows how many more casualties we would have taken trying to get through the next few minutes. But the map looks pretty much unchanged. They do have 49% morale to our 100%. We killed 10. We wounded 26. They killed 3 and wounded 3. And that's not bad. So John McClane, no kills. Hans Gruber has 3 kills. Al Powell has 1 kill. Colonel Stewart has 4 kills. Major Grant has 1 kill. Simon has 3 kills. Zeus has no kills. Thomas Gabriel got 1 kill. Lucy has 5 kills. Yuri Komarov has 2 kills. Holly has 2 kills. And Dick Thornburg was the rock star here with 14 kills. Alright, platoon leader, nothing. Their mortar has 1 kill. Piet has no kills. Rifles unharmed. Bren basically wiped out. Another Bren that's almost wiped out. A third Bren that's almost wiped out. Another Bren, this one is wiped out. And a Bren that's wiped out. Medium mortar, they have 1 kill. Their second medium mortar has 2 kills. And then they have this random Piet that we actually wiped out with no kills. So it was a win. And I mean, I guess if you look at it from like the stats, it was a decent win, right? Like we have very low casualties and we have a lot of kills. But it did not feel like that while fighting it. So give and take, right? Like they throw it at me harder and I take more casualties, I might be making a different complaint right now. But a win's a win. We got through it. We'll be able to merge this battle group before the next fight here. And sooner or later, they're going to throw some serious firepower at us. They do have an armored battle group on this map that's just not currently in the fight. We do have more battles coming up, and I hope you guys are ready for those ones. So go ahead and drop a comment down below. Let me know how you think it went. And then make sure you're subscribed to keep up to date on future content. And if you enjoyed the fight, like the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.